If you're in the market for a new dryer, you've likely considered whether a vented or ventless model is the right choice for your home. Dryers are a laundry essential, but not all operate the same way. Each type comes with its own advantages and trade-offs. There are 3 different dryer types: vented, condenser, and heat pump. Each is going to have its own distinct advantages and drawbacks. First, let's talk about vented drying and how they work. It's going to pull the air in, and it's going to either use a gas combustion or an electric heating element to heat the air. And then the moisture is going to be pushed outside through a vent. There are many pros to a vented dryer, and that's going to include faster drying times. This is going to be great for busy households and ideal for large families or those who simply just do a lot of laundry. They typically have a lower upfront cost as well. Generally, they're going to be the most affordable dryer to purchase. It's because they have fewer complex components, meaning a lower manufacturing cost. And they have a really simple design, which is going to mean for you fewer maintenance issues. You're not going to have to worry about water reservoirs or additional filters to clean, and they typically have fewer moving parts. The cons of a vented dryer include they're going to require external venting. So it's not ideal for somebody who lives in an apartment or a condo. So if you have limited space and placement options in homes without an existing vent, a vented dryer is not going to be for you. They are less energy efficient. They do require a lot more energy. Something interesting as well, they release hot air instead of reusing it. That's the whole point of a vented dryer. And so they're constantly pulling in and expelling the air, and that's what leads to that high energy consumption. And I've heard from clients that there are simply too many options to choose from. Vented dryers have the biggest selection out of all the dryer types in today's market. Next, let's talk about condenser dryers and how they work. As the drum is spinning, the moisture is passed through a heat exchanger where it cools and condenses the air. Instead of expelling moisture through a vent, it collects the extracted moisture into a container. There are pros to condenser dryers as well. They are more flexible when it comes to installation. There is no vented needed. It can be placed anywhere that has power access. They are typically gentler on fabrics too. Compared to vented models, they're going to use more controlled drying processes, and that's going to reduce the wear and tear on your clothes. And it's going to help maintain the quality, especially of those delicate fabrics over time. And they are more efficient than vented dryers, but not as much as heat pumps, which we'll talk about later. And then we have to talk about the cons of condenser dryers as well. They use energy similar to that of a vented dryer. While slightly more efficient than vented models, it still consumes a significant amount of power. Some condenser dryers release heat back into the home, so if you don't want that, just beware of this. And then they typically have longer drying times than vented models too. They're not going to be ideal for those who need a quick laundry turnaround time. Overall, condenser dryers aren't as popular now because of heat pumps, because they provide the same benefit but are more efficient and less cost to run. And that's what we're going to be talking about next. The last dryer type is a heat pump dryer. How they work is they use a closed loop heat exchange system to recycle warm air, making it the most efficient option out of all 3. The pros of a heat pump dryer include they're going to use 50% less energy than vented and condenser models. They recapture and reuse heat, significantly reducing electricity usage. This is going to be the most eco-friendly and cost-effective option over time. They have a gentle drying process too. This is going to be best for delicate fabrics. They operate at lower temperatures, so this is going to reduce fabric shrinkage and damage. And there's no external venting required. This can be installed anywhere with a power source, perfect for homes where venting isn't possible. And they do have cons as well. They are the most expensive upfront, but it's going to save you money in the long run. The initial cost is higher than both vented and condenser dryers. However, the lower energy usage is going to lead to those savings over time. They have longer drying times compared to vented and condenser dryers, so it's not going to be ideal for those who need quick drying cycles. And they have more filters to clean, so this is going to require regular maintenance. It includes additional filters and components that you're going to need to clean frequently to keep your machine running nice and smooth. Each type of dryer comes with its own advantages and trade-offs. The right choice depends on your space, budget, and laundry habits. Ultimately, you should be weighing factors like installation, energy use, drying speed, and long-term savings, so that way you can find yourself the best fit for your home.